This is the Deering Acting Studio Morning Podcast and Mornings with Matt, where we discuss the connection between life and acting. Thanks for joining me on the end there, boys. That was cool. Little trifecta.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome, Joey. Good morning and welcome to Mornings with Matt. Today we're going to be talking about corporate workshops and how much we love doing corporate workshops. Specifically, we wanted to talk today a little bit about the improv side of corporate. So there's something that happens with an improv group. So I happen to be working with a company right now, and we're doing a little bit of improv work, but with them, it's a little bit different. But whenever a group wants to do like connection type stuff, the improv is unbelievable. It's such a great tool to bring a group together. I mean, we know from our troupe, we are really clicking. We're our best.
Yep.
When we're united, when we share what we call group mind.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right? And so to get a corporate group together, to get a business and the employees together and to be thinking the same way is this unbelievable, powerful tool.
Yeah. I'm excited to talk about this today because we had Priya on about, probably like 30, 40 episodes ago now. But she talked about her business being transformed by improv classes. So now we are going to get to go deeper into that. But that was a cool episode because that was like affirmation of, these things are true, you know?
Yeah.
And she spoke them firsthand. She's a very successful woman. She's still in our improv classes, like been with us forever almost, it seems like. But it's just really cool to see people in our studio, in our student body already seeing the effect and then being able to try to branch out to corporate and give the same skills to them.
Well, it also goes right into sort of what our program is about, which is just about building connection and listening skills. So inside of improv, when it comes to students coming in, we're building up their confidence. We're getting them to feel like really good about themselves in a positive way. And when you are at your best, that's when you do your best, right? And so I've definitely seen that inside the improv classes, and we've had the fortune of working with so many different companies on this. And sometimes most times they walk in having no idea like how it's gonna go, like a little bit skeptical, unsure. And by the time they're done, Matt has them just laughing out loud, psyched, and just begging for more because when you hear it, it's hard to like establish the connection of what it would do for your business. But I've seen firsthand just how it's helped companies both with bonding, sales, everything. Yeah.
So before I'd like to jump on what Joey said here and start with Priya, and then let's jump into some companies and some examples there.
Yeah.
But I do like this example of Priya. Now here's this woman who works for one of the, I would say most recognizable, largest companies in the world. Everybody knows the company she works for. She's one of the higher ups there. And when she started with us, she was already on a success path, but she attributes the classes here to a few big major promotions that she got because she needed to be able to lead a team, to talk in front of people, to be able to essentially improvise. And she gives us like mad credit for helping her with that journey of hers. And now I know from talking to her and from her episode that she brings those skills and the exercises into her group, and then she works with them on those things. And of course, she's hired us on the side as well. Her company has, in order to actually train her higher level executives as well.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things that she mentioned is she said that everybody in your life is a scene partner.
Mm-hmm.
And when she said that, I don't know if I had ever heard it in that terminology before, but I was like, oh, that's so true. Like, that's what we're teaching, life acting. We say it in our intro. We've always said that. Like, that's something we it's hard to explain when we're selling a class, right? That, like, we're a personal development studio. We focus on connecting your life with acting, making you a better human being.
Right.
But they sort of have to see it to believe it, right? And that was one of those moments where I was like, oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
So true. Everybody in your life is a scene partner. The same way when you hop on stage, you have no clue who you're going up with.
Yeah, and people are afraid of the idea of acting in general. It can be a fear. And from that fear, you get various reactions. I like to think of any conservative business man or woman who would hear, hey, let's take an acting class that's going to connect to our business. And I realized that that's sort of the way we used to talk about it. And I could see how the average person might be, immediately kind of react to that and be like, oh, it's probably not for us, or, it sounds a little, maybe fun, but not impactful or whatever. And so recently we flipped the terminology because it really is so powerful to be business training with an acting twist. It's not acting training with a business twist. This is business training with an acting twist. And it really is. I mean, it's like when you zone in, and we've gotten to work with a few companies ongoing, and those companies can show us their bottom line is moved, and meaning that they are they're holding on to people longer.
Yeah,
they don't see as much turnover. Their hiring processes are better. They're connecting with customers in new ways, and literally just saving money and making more money. I mean, it's kind of, that's what bottom line means. And so so that's been phenomenal, and then just seeing the way somebody like Priya and some other of our successful business students have evolved and used what we do in their profession is really cool as well.
Yeah, for sure. It goes back to committing yourself towards mastery in that thing. I think I look at Priya and I'm like, not only has she gotten much better as an improviser from the day she walked in the door, but because of that, she's allowed herself to open herself up and apply that. So she's become a better businesswoman, a better mother, a better wife, and she talks about that in her episode, and I just think it's beautiful.
And if you go back to that idea of the everybody's a scene partner, everyone in your life is a scene partner, well, what do I always say? When you hit the stage, your only intention should be to make your scene partner better. Your only intention should be to lift your scene partner up. So if you treat everybody in your life as if they are an improv scene partner, your goal will be to lift them up.
Yes.
And what a great way to live.
Not again.
We got an emergency. We got an emergency. Oh, no.
Phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got an emergency.
I straight up muted my phone, so I have no idea.
We should probably turn off the alarm that's scheduled to go off in the middle of our show. Would probably be a good idea.
I didn't even know that.
Anyway, it's okay. We're not going to focus on it.
I think that was the alarm for a little segment that we call Brian Sweeney's.
There's an alarm that goes off in
Brian
order
Sweeney's
to tell us that there's an emergency that we need to do.
Well, yeah.
Brian Sweeney's shameless plug.
I didn't want to have to say this, but Brian, he felt like we were missing the segment too much. So when I walked over to shut off the alarm, it said, "It's time now for Brian Sweeney's shameless plug."
Oh.
So I feel like we should probably respect that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Is that an alarm for that?
I can't lie to you, Matt.
Is that really what it is?
I have no idea
Brian?
what it is.
Did you set an alarm for your shameless plug?
I did not.
I mean, how shameless can a man be? All right. Well, today I think we should avoid the shameless plug about the book. Now, I mean, you can mention the book. That's fine. But really, we've got some really big workshops coming up, and we've got some big events coming up. So if we're gonna shameless plug something, let's at least start there. Can we do that, Brian?
We can absolutely start there.
And I'm really dragging out this shameless plug, assuming that you are getting all your facts together, all your dates. I'm assuming you're totally ready. So by the time I pass you the focus,
100%.
it's super easy for you to just rattle off this information and not be, worried about remembering or having to try to find it or anything like that. I mean,
sure.
I do feel like we're probably in the same page here with me kind of trying to set you up. I mean, here's the thing. Let me pretend like you're my scene partner in life, okay?
Yeah.
And my job would be to say, I don't know, segue to you but I'd want to do so in such a way that I knew you were so connected to me that you had already pulled up this information because you knew you were going to have to say it. So you were actively finding the information, getting it ready, having 100%. It right in front of you.
In fact, you set an alarm for it. So
I did. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Sweeney's shameless plugs.
Shameless plugs.
This will be the most shameless of all. I have so many plugs to deliver here. This weekend, we have a improv show, our very first batch.
What?
Okay, this is big news here. So Brian couldn't be less excited. I don't think he's like, this is gonna be the most shameful of all the plugs.
I was trying to go.
He's kind of like the
Joey Sweeney. Yeah, I'm gonna give you this one, bro.
What?
I'm sorry. Here we go.
All right, let's go.
It's our first improv show.
Let's
our first
go.
improv show back. Ho 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 ho! Ladies and
Chaos Comedy is coming back.
You know it, coming back
this
with a vengeance.
Weekend at 7:00 p.m. on Saturday. Stay tuned. Get those tickets. Come in person. We will probably have a virtual option. We'll let you know with all the details, but it's going to be amazing. We're picking up the momentum, and we are going to put on a show.
I'm so excited to have Chaos Comedy back. I got to tell you, the momentum around Chaos Comedy, around the studio, with the troupe coming in. Big shout out to Mr. Nick Malata.
Yeah! He has been crushing it.
You know, he's a man who believes in the vision. He believes in what we're doing. He's all in, and it's super exciting for us to see that happen, to see our student base grab onto what we're doing and say, we believe in what you're doing, and let us help you take what you're doing to the next level. And Nick is doing that at a super high level. So Nick, if you're watching right now, thank you. You're killing it, bro. We notice it. All right, next thing on the list, Brian, see if you can be more depressing, perhaps.
Hurtful, by the way.
All right.
The next weekend is
He did it. Good job.
the next weekend.
All right, go for it.
Is our casting workshop. So we do have in that one a virtual option for auditing and an in-person option, and we will be breaking down just how to stand out in the casting room. It's $95 for the in-person, $35 for the audit, and it is very limited spacing on the in-person, so make sure you get your stuff and show up for this because it's going to make it so that you book more jobs.
And no excuses, because you can already find both options on the website under the workshop section in either the adult or teen page. So do it. Do it now.
Yeah, no, we're very excited for this workshop, actually. We have not done... we did one casting workshop already, but we haven't done one under necessarily like the Phoenix casting name, and coming out and saying, you know what, we are doing a lot of castings nowadays, and so it's important for people to understand what is our process, how do we go about our casting process, and what is our take on the industry in general, because it's good to know each casting director's preferences, and at the same time, you know, we'd like to shed light on just the industry in general and let you know you should have certain expectations of yourself and certain expectations of your agent and certain expectations of the casting directors in this town or any town. And so we feel very, very strongly about the way we go about it and the way that we think that a minimum standard things should be done. So we're going to talk about that in this workshop. It's going to be a lot of fun, highly informational and interactive. The space is limited because we are going to get actors on stage. We're going to get them get a chance to actually do some of the exercises with us, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. And that is next weekend. Is that right?
That is right. Yep.
So it's a week.
A week from this Saturday. So this Saturday is our improv show. Following Saturday
we have this because it's Monday, so it's hard to kind of like get that. So the date then for this Saturday's show is,
drum roll please. Da, 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 da.
We don't know.
September 19th.
Okay, September 19th is this Saturday. That is the Chaos Comedy Show, and then following that, is it the next Saturday? Is the
September 26th.
September 26th. All right, cool. So we got September 19th, September 26th. That is the Chaos Comedy Improv Show. Then the following weekend is going to be our Phoenix casting workshop, which is going to be off the chains. Okay, and then we got another thing coming up.
Absolutely. Well, I'll do a
the
quick skip
icing.
on this because we already mentioned Chaos, but there's another show the following weekend on the 26th because we are, or on the 3rd, I mean.
What?
On the 3rd. I said it backwards. 3rd.
We're doubling up shows.
Yeah. We're doing
What?
so many shows. It's
Chaos
amazing.
Comedy is doing 2 shows within 2 weeks of their first month back.
Yes, they are.
What?
I just had to mention it because there's something every single weekend. But the big one coming up after that is on October 10th, which is Matt's brilliant idea of a podcast-a-thon. It goes 9th into the 10th. It is for our Lighthouse Theater. We'll be raising money.
Oh my God, we're gonna be so tired. It's
If
gonna
it
be
sounds
great.
like we made up a word, it's because we did. We made up a word, podcast-a-thon. We own it. Hashtag podcastathon, podcastathon.com. Podcastathon. It's our thing. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to go 24 hours podcasting. Ourselves, our studio base. My wife's going to have a segment on there with Michelle, her Leanna Michelle group.
wait. They're like famous.
They're really famous, I know.
They're like Leanne and Michelle think they're funny. That's who's coming on the podcast.
But they've rebranded. They're just Leanna Michelle now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's been like that for a
dang.
while.
That's crazy.
They dropped the think they're funny.
Dang.
Because the truth is they knew they were funny.
Oh, dang.
'cause they are.
Throw the hammer. I love it.
So yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot, and then for those of you out there watching, if you have a business or you're just yourself, you would like to get on the podcastathon, you're going to have a chance to do that. So part of it is like we're just taking donations, obviously, to try to spread our light-driven content to the planet. To help with scholarships, to help with studio renovations and theater renovations and whatnot. But the other side of it is there's going to be like a pay-to-play type thing. So you're going to be able to donate some money, and then you can actually have one of the podcast slots during the 24 hours, which is super cool and going to be a lot of fun. Like we're going to be here for 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, the three of
We
us.
won't be so tired. It's going to be amazing.
We'll be here for 24 hours. It's going to be nuts. And we're really, really, really stoked about it.
It's going to
Absolutely.
be amazing.
All right. And then there is one more announcement, Brian. And I'm sure you know all about it. I just based on the look on Brian's face right now.
Totally know
like
everything
he was
about
in
it.
space and he wasn't like,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
What?
Okay.
I was
all
gonna-
right.
I'll go ahead and announce this one.
It's the 22nd.
Should I announce it?
Of October. Let's do it together.
All right, you got
Can
it.
we do it together?
No, you got it. You
Okay,
started.
all right. It's the 22nd of October starts our masterclass. Scene study intensive, the highest level of training that we offer here at this studio. There will be a virtual audit pass for each day so you can watch from home, but right now you have a chance to get signed up for yourself.
And it's really important we mention this, right? Because the auditions are now.
Yes.
And they're due here in the next few days. So if you have that desire to work really hard to take your acting to the next level, Masterclass is right around the corner. It comes up quick. So we're mentioning it now, even though it's a month and a half from now. You got to get on the audition list and get yourself in order to even be eligible for potentially being in the class a month and a half from now. So
Yes.
So do that. Check out the emails we got coming out to you. If you're not on that list, reach out to us. We'll put you on the email list and be happy to have you audition for Masterclass. And the seating's very limited in Masterclass, but it's an unbelievable experience. Really
This
is.
shameless plug was brought to you by the Deering Acting Studio team. Thank you. Here
Shameless
comes the
plug.
rest.
Yeah, no, that was the longest shameless plug.
It
I
was
told
quite
you.
long. It was like an episode.
That's why I was like, don't grab the book because we don't even have time to talk about acting as my day job. 7
didn't.
strategies to market and make money as an actor. The book I have out on Amazon and Walmart and Target
Everywhere
and
on the
everywhere else
planet,
on the
really.
planet.
No time to talk about it.
We're not going to talk about acting as my day job. 7 strategies to market and make money as an actor. There's no time for that.
No
We
time to
can't
talk
really
about it.
talk about how it would make anybody's life better, not just actors. You
Right.
know, we don't have time.
It's silly to do that.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do that. So let's go back to corporate workshops because that's what everybody tuned in to watch us for.
Hey, they got a good first half. We're gonna hit back with the second half. Brian had a good topic we wanted to hop on with.
Yeah, it was good.
So,
It was good.
you know?
Good. Yeah, so I want to talk about another company, and I believe we can talk about them directly. The Blueprint Education.
Yes.
Some of my favorite people on the planet. And they came in for a first time and kind of didn't know what they were, getting themselves into. As a matter of fact, they hired us to work with some of their employees, but then it was a positive experience. So the executive team came down, including the CEO, and their first time in, they're like, I gotta do this thing. And I mean, they're probably 10 workshops deep now, and we've gotten to go so far with this team. So it's really nice when you get to build upon the concepts, because at the first go round, everything's new and fresh, and it's just like, it's really exciting to be in one of these workshops. You've never seen this stuff before. It feels like a magic trick. But then if you go ongoing with us, that's when I really get to put up my sleeves a little bit, because I got to dig deep into our arsenal and make sure that you are growing and developing as a group at a super high level. So these people have now laughed together, cried together. They know the ins and outs of their business. They know why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, they're so motivated, connected to each other and to their purpose now, that it's like, now they strut in the studio, and they're like, they came in like, and now they're like, boom, 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 blueprints in the club now. Yeah, and they really do. They just lay it down, and they go, teach us. Like, let's just go, because we want to go next level. And they have seen massive results with the kids that they teach, with their teachers that they have working with them, and even in their like Scrum group. I know they're a part of this big Scrum group. They've gotten a chance to like speak publicly in front of thousands of people. Like, it's been an amazing, cool, transformative experience, and it all came from them saying, yes, let me try this thing. Let me say yes to it. Let me give in. We had a really good first experience. Let me not just say like, oh, that was good, that was fun, but let me say, that was good, that was fun. Let me dig deeper now.
Yeah.
Let me dig deeper now.
I know we have a lot to talk about, so I'm going to keep it short and simple, but I just love their mission as well.
Yeah.
I have autoimmune issues, and they help kids like me and like a lot of kids who just struggle one way or another with learning, and they're there to teach you side by side, to believe in you, to be your coach, to be your motivator, and also help you out when others give up on you. Like, they are just wonderful people. And I felt the love being around them that they give to their students and that they have for their students. And that's just something that's super powerful. I wanted to say that.
And we got to work with some of the kids here in the studio. They came in on a field trip, and I'm telling you, they really are. Like, they're making a difference in kids' lives at a massive level. And some of these kids that they're reaching out to, they wouldn't get opportunities if it wasn't for the people over at Blueprint. And I got to tell you, I mean, they're in great position right now. So I'm just gonna give them a shameless plug right now.
Yeah.
And that is Blueprint Education, because they've been doing this for a long time, well before the pandemic happened. They've been doing online training for the right reasons. And so if you're out there right now, and you're kind of in limbo land, and you don't know for sure if you're going to be going back to in-person school, or if you'd like to give online like a full go at it, look up the people from Blueprint. And if you're eligible for the Blueprint Education, I can tell you, you are going to get exceptional service. You're going to get teachers that really, really care about you, and they want to set you up to be successful in life. That is what they're doing. That's why we align so well with them.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to do the exact same thing with people of all ages.
And that's blueprinteducation.org. And again, just diving right into what they are. Their mission, and it's right there on their website, is to inspire students to make better choices and be champions of their own learning.
Boom.
Just
Boom.
super
Boom.
cool.
And think about just like the name too, how smart that is. You're creating a blueprint for your life. Just the same way you create a blueprint for a building. If you want to build the building right, you have to create the blueprint first, right? If you just like start a building, you wouldn't know what came next. Well, they're saying, hey, let's slow down a second. Let's go ahead and knock down whatever we have that's built. And even if you made mistakes, no big deal. But let's start over from scratch, and let's create this blueprint for your life, kids. I don't care what your background was. We're going to knock down all those old habits, all those old beliefs, and we're going to build this new blueprint for you to believe that anything in your life is possible. And they have success stories that would boggle your mind. Kids that you would see and think, these kids got no chance based on their circumstances.
Yeah.
And they were given a teacher, given an education, and now they are out some of them even teaching within their program.
Yeah.
And doing all kinds of other things. So very, very cool organization. That was a big, long plug, deserved, by the way, for the Blueprint Education people.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been an episode about corporate training. So we should end here with a little something for corporations. If you happen to own a business or you happen to lead a group of some kind, we should end with some sort of a takeaway that you can take with you. One of the big things that you want to know is for your group, you want to be encouraging creativity, and that's a part of what we do. I mean, there's probably 200 ways we attack corporations, but one of them for sure is through the idea of creativity. And a lot of times, people in a group will hold back their creative ideas out of fear. Because there's a fear of looking stupid. There's a fear of being wrong. There's a fear of saying something that might offend somebody. There's like all these fears that come up, but you might be missing out on the next great idea in your company, and you need to encourage an environment of creativity, an environment where we want to hear all the ideas, the good ones, the bad ones, the in between ones. Like we want to hear them, and we will celebrate the bad ideas. We will clap for you. And so there's this really cool exercise. We're going to give this exercise to you right now, and you can do this with your people. You can try this, and if you struggle, just hire us, and we'll run it for you. But it goes like this. It's 3 things. And so we like to end some of our workshops this way because it's super high energy. But it's this idea of you say yes, and you get excited no matter how bad the idea is. And so it sounds a little bit like the Family Feud. So somebody would come up with 3 things that are unrelated, and then the next person in line would say 3 things you might find somewhere. And then whatever that answer is, it's just celebrated. No matter how bad it is. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be bad. Like, it really doesn't matter.
It's the best answer anybody's ever heard in their life.
So let's go like this. Okay, ready, Joey?
Do we get to play it on the show?
Right now, we're going to play it because we have to demonstrate.
Okay,
of course.
all right, that's fair. Cool, let's do it.
Okay, so why don't you come up with 3 random things? Totally random.
Okay. Turkey wishbone.
A turkey wishbone.
Okay. A piece of plywood.
A piece of plywood. We've got a turkey wishbone and a piece of plywood.
And my 5th grade math report.
And Joey's 5th grade math report. So we've got Joey's 5th grade math report, a piece of plywood, and a turkey wishbone. Brian, go ahead.
3 things that you would find in our mom's treasure box.
Yes! Good answer!
Yeah, that was it, baby. That was it. And that's it. And that's how the exercise works. So no matter what the answer is, no matter what you come up with for your answer, we celebrate as a group. We say yes, and we say basically any answer, a willingness to speak, a willingness to have your voice heard is celebrated. And whether you realize it or not, in a lot of cultures out there, you think that you're like, oh yeah, I'm open to ideas, but you're not. You haven't developed a culture for it. You have to have a culture of creativity and openness. So as open as you think you are, if someone raises their hand or somebody says something and they get denied even one time, that person's not going to talk again for the next couple of years. That's just the way human beings are. Because they're like, well, my boss doesn't like my ideas, I'm done. Matter of fact, I'm going to end with this example. When I worked at a particular organization, I was young, and I was super excited to be there. I loved this particular organization. And I'm just a kid. I'm a kid just working my way up. And I had a couple really good ideas for management that I knew, because I'm working the front lines here. It was a resort. And I'm working the front lines of this resort. And I know from working the front lines that my idea is going to save the company money, and it's going to benefit us frontline employees where we're going to make more money. And my boss at the time, he wasn't even the boss. He was like the manager boss. He comes around, and he was doing his checks, and I give him my ideas. And I was very excited. I was nervous to talk to this boss man about my ideas. And he responds with, couple things. And he went off on a different tangent. He denied my thoughts, didn't even give them the time of day. And he turned me into, and it is my fault because I could have made a different choice, but I was young and naive. And so his response to me created in me a guy who went from being excited, being super pumped, giving 110% of every ounce of me into that job to a guy that just showed up 9 to 5 to make money. It drained me. And I like to use that example for 2 reasons. Number one is that's on me. I shouldn't have done that. That's not okay. You have to overcome those circumstances. Matter of fact, that boss got fired before I left that company. So I'm not proud of the way that I reacted because I let him get to me. But 2, understanding the power that you have and how important it is to take the time to listen. Because even if my ideas didn't get through, even if it didn't happen, maybe there's some reason way above my head why my idea could never happen. Okay, fine. But at least acknowledge it. At least listen to it. At least, sit down for a second and appreciate the fact that somebody's coming up with ideas. And there's this kid who's got a menial job, who's thinking at a high level, at a corporate level. Give a little bit of encouragement there. So that's my big piece of advice is look for those little ways to listen, to settle down. Whatever you have going on, it's not more important than listening to that idea right then and there in that moment. Facts, Big Sweeney, Joey Sweeney facts. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. This has been Mornings with Matt. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Help us to spread this light-driven content to the planet.
Thanks for listening to Mornings with Matt. Please like, subscribe, and follow us at Deering Acting Studio to keep up with the latest content. For more information on classes, private lessons, or professional development coaching, visit www.deeringstudio.com. Have a Deering day, everyone.